Welcome to the Julian and Jillian Sports Talk Show. Today we are talking about student athletes at Denison and how they are different than the average Division I player. We will also be talking about how we as non-student athletes view athletes here at Denison and how we should change the frame through which we view them.
Before we get into that, I want to briefly detail how Division I players are viewed in relation to Division III players. Because they are expected to go on to the pros, Division I athletes are covered through multiple different media avenues and seem to be exploited by the universities that they play for. Their focus in college is on athletics, with social life and academics pushed to the side.
A good example of this exploitation can be found in a documentary about the Fab Five, who were 5 Michigan players that brought media and economic attention to the university. The Fab Five felt like they were being exploited by the university to gain money through ticket sales, jersey sales, and other economic gains.
Yeah, and we feel like the student athletes at Denison can sometimes be viewed through the same frame as Division I athletes. Because we are so inundated with media coverage and rhetoric of Division I athletes, I think that we tend to view all college athletes in the same light.
So before we discuss this framing issue in college athletics, we will listen to some clips from interviews we conducted of 2 student athletes on campus, Brandon Morgan and Greta Finney, as well as Coach Bob Galoni and AJ Gay, who were interviewed for their experiences in coaching and club teams, respectively.
So listen in to these clips from our interviews.
I'm Greta Finney. I play field hockey. I think I started in 6th grade. I'm a junior now.
Okay.
The team was like huge with that. Like coming in, especially with fall sport, like that was, I already had a basis. And like that was comforting and like great. I mean, it was tough with the schedule, but like you can't beat that kind of like, you already have a place kind of thing. Like I honestly can't imagine myself not playing a sport. Like I just don't think I'd be who I am if I didn't.
My name's Brandon Morgan. I played baseball and I've been probably playing baseball for about 15, 16 years, I guess. I don't know, I always think about that question is like what would I do if I didn't have sports? Like I don't know, I'd be lost. I feel like sports is like me. That's why I came here, because I knew I could I play like 4 more years, and I think then it's time to move on with whatever is next in my life. But just knowing that I have 4 years, like I just know like these first 4 years, I can enjoy it and try to get the most out of it as I can before it's over. It's just that like I can't go out maybe every night and act like an idiot or something, or try to let loose, because I know if I do get in trouble, it puts a negative impact on myself and also as the baseball program as a whole. So I'm not just representing Brandon Morgan, I'm representing Denison Baseball and Denison University.
What the team does is far greater than what the individual can do. It's so much of a better feeling to feel when you put that hard work together. It's almost like a strands that are woven together to make something. And at the end, there's one unified, pure piece. Then you have something that was built, that all the parts had to function together as one to make work. And that's an incredible feeling. Just
can't compartmentalize your approach to life. In other words, if you really want to do well and have balance in your life, your approach has got to be the same all the time. So if you work your ass off on the floor, you should be working your ass off in the classroom. Don't fool yourself and think that you can work hard on the floor and then just kind of skim in the class. It's going to affect your floor play sooner or later. It's an attitude. Partying too much, despite how young they are and how they recover fast, really affects what they're going to do Wednesday night.
Now that you have heard some of the clips that resonated with us, we wanted to quickly list some of the aspects that stuck out to us after studying these interviews.
That's right. We found that student athletes valued being able to play a sport they love for 4 more years of college without feeling the pressure to move on after. They are also able to establish long-lasting relationships with their teammates and their coaches.
Yeah, along with that, athletes here found the balance between academics, social life, and athletics to be difficult yet rewarding. This relates to an article I read about civic engagement in student athletes, where it was found that over half of student athletes across the country feel like they can't give the appropriate amount of time to academics and other activities on campus. However, all 3 of the athletes interviewed felt like they needed athletics in their lives to balance out the hectic side of academics here at Denison.
And through these conclusions that we found, we think that at Denison, we need to reframe how we view student athletes on campus. Instead of viewing them as athletes who are utilizing college as a way or an outlet to get to the pros, we should remember that their primary goal at Denison is to get an education.
Yeah, sports for student athletes here is a way for them to be involved in something that they love for their time in college, because that will be it for them. And we also need to remember that how we frame athletes on campus is a lot more than how we view them. Another article I read focused on student athletes as being unique, and how we as students, along with faculty members, need to reframe how we address student athletes and their schedules.
Exactly. The rhetoric that we use to talk about and describe the student athletes needs to change in order for us to truly understand the challenges that they face and the way that we view them on campus.
I couldn't have said it better.
I know.
So why do sports matter here on campus at Denison? They matter because they shape the frame through which we view students on campus and construct our society here on the Hill. And that can have positive and negative consequences that affect our discourse surrounding social issues and life at Denison, let alone other colleges.
Well, thank you for listening to the Julian and Jillian Sports Talk Show. See you next time.
Bye!